And welcome everyone. It is Donna Gray here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland, coming to you live on a Monday afternoon. I know it's crazy. Why am I live on a Monday afternoon? But you know what? I missed you guys this morning. So I definitely wanted to jump on and go live today. I didn't want to miss out on one day of crafting with you all. So I decided that I would jump on this afternoon and I would show you what I'm going to create as a surprise for my mum for her 81st birthday, which will be on the 17th of February. So I wanted to get a start on it now. So as you may know, anyone that's followed me, I actually created a scrapbook album for my mum for her 80th birthday. And so she's got this gorgeous album, which was like an album like the story of her life. I went from the beginning of her life, her parents, herself as a baby, and I went right through up until her 80th birthday. So, of course, I gave it to her for her 80th birthday. So I didn't have any of the photos or anything until we actually celebrated her 80th birthday that night. So I've got some gorgeous photos that I wanted to create some pages for her. And I thought, what better way of giving her a present? Because, I mean, what do you give people that are in their 80s? I mean, seriously, like it's so hard to try and find presents for my parents at the age in their early 80s, because I mean at that stage in their life they have everything, but some of the things that actually are nearest and dearest to them is the memories of things, memories of their family and their children and events that we have celebrated in our lives. So I thought, what better way but to celebrate with the Wildflower birthday scrapbooking kit. So I'm going to show you one of our brand new scrapbooking kits today, and I'm going to show you actually how it works and how I would go about assembling these 3 double page layouts. So I'm just going to do 1 double page layout for you today, but I'm going to show you all the cutting guides. I'm going to show you how these kits actually work, and see if it might be something that you want to do. Now, if you're brand new to scrapbooking, this could be an idea of how to get you started. If you've been scrapbooking for a while, this is a nice, quick and easy way of scrapbooking. But I wanted to show you exactly what was in the kit. I wanted to show you how we can cut the designer series paper and get it all ready for our layouts to be done. So I'm actually going to be holding these workshop kits as a class. Once a month, I'm actually going to be holding a class where you can come, you can purchase the kit directly off me and sit down and get started. Now, the beauty of it is if you want to attend an in-person class, I actually have a photo printer that you can print your photos out to the size that you want, and you can get scrapping here with me in my craft studio. So I will be holding those once a month. So get on my email list so you can get details of that. So if you live locally and you want to come to scrapbooking classes, what better way than to just grab the kit of your choice and get going with your scrapbooking. So I had an interesting scrapbooking. I actually had a card making class last Thursday, but I had a new customer who is actually going to be doing a scrapbook album. Now, she's actually chosen the Wildflower birthday designer series paper as the paper for her baby album. So she's doing her granddaughter's baby album. The granddaughter's gorgeous. She's only 3 months old. So she's going to have some stunning photos of the little granddaughter. So she wanted to do a whole album and get scrapbooking. And she's had 3 months already to enjoy that little bundle of joy. So she's doing a scrapbooking album. So she chose the storybook moments. She's already chosen that suite, and she's also chosen the Wildflower birthday. So she's going to incorporate both sets of papers throughout this whole entire album. So it will be really, really interesting to see. And I actually said to her, she did 3 double page layouts the other day in her class when she was here, and she was going home to get photos to put on it and to embellish. And I said to her, let me see the finished product when it's finished. So it'll be really exciting to see. All right, so let's get into this so that we can get crafting, because that's what we want to do. Now, I've got a couple of things pulled out here and popped over to the side because I need it for the layout that I will be doing today. But I want to show you, we're going to see what's in these scrapbooking kits, and we are going to go from the beginning and show you what's involved in, like, what you get in your scrapbooking kit, and also how we can actually assemble it and put it together. So let me get this kit. I've had it out. So I've had bits and pieces out of it everywhere. So I had to put it all back together in the bag so I could jump on and do this video today. So welcome everybody that is joining. I can see I've got Darby and Kerry and Lorraine. Welcome. Lovely to see you. So this is the Wildflower birthday scrapbooking kit. Now these kits were designed, as you know, close to my heart makers have come and joined us here with Stampin' Up. So we've got kits that are designed very similar to the Close to My Heart kit. So if you were a person that loved the Close to My Heart kits, you're going to love the brand new scrapbooking kits from Stampin' Up. Now, as you can see here, these are the instruction sheets that you get with your scrapbooking kit. So it shows you the three, hey Jeanette, it shows you the three double page layouts that you will be getting. It will also show you down here a guide of what the photos are and what you will need. So you can see here project number 1, which it says up here, number 1 is these ones here. It will show you the photo sizes. So it tells you that you need 2 3x4 landscape and you need 3 4x4 photos for project number 1. So you can see here the what did we say we needed? 2 landscape, which is this one and this one. And then these are the 3, this one and this one. And these are the 4x4s. Okay. Then on layout number 2, which is the one I'm going to do for Mum's birthday album, it shows here that we need 2 3x3s, and we also need a 2 3x4 landscape, and we need a 4x4. So the 4x4 is here. The 3x3 is over here, another 3x3 over here, and these are the 2 3x4 landscape. And then on project number 3, it shows you that we need a 2x2, which is this little one down here. We need 2 3x4 portrait, which is these 2 here. And we also need a 4x6 portrait, which is this one here. Okay, so I actually thought I might do one if I can get a photo of her on her own. I don't know whether I actually did get a photo of her on her own. I will actually check and see if my daughter's got some, but I've got photos with her with everybody. But I don't know whether I've got one of her on her own. I'd love to have one of her on her own. So anyway, I decided that this was the one that I was going to do, but we are going to cut all lots of paper for the whole 3 double page layouts because that's how these kits are designed to go. All right, so in our kit, so we not only have our instructions, and you can see here, we've got cutting guide instructions all over here. Okay, so I want to show you an easy way, and then we've got assembling instructions. Okay, now you all know me, I go by looking. I physically don't go by instructions, but I go by looking. But the instructions are there if you want to follow the instructions. I will follow the instructions for the cutting, but when it comes to assembling, I will just assemble. Okay, all right, so first of all, I wanted to show you the designer series paper. So as you can see, the Wildflower birthday suite has got foiled accents. So the normal designer series paper that we have, the Wildflower birthday designer series paper pack, has gold foiling. They've taken the gold foiling away on the scrapbooking papers. So so you get 2 sheets of each. So you can see here, it's got that, but then it's got the stripes like we have in the designer series paper pack. I should have bought a paper pack in so I could show you the difference, but they're very similar papers. Now, the difference between, we have pink gingham in the designer series paper. This one has the soft sea foam as the reverse side. And it also has this blue, it is Misty Moonlight, I think, that side as well. Now, that's not something that's in the designer series paper in the Wildflower birthday paper, but that is here in this birthday kit. This is another paper. So we've got this one in the Wildflower birthday designer series paper pack that we have, just a paper pack on its own, but it has gold foil accents. As you can see, this one here doesn't have the gold foil accents. And we've got a beautiful, pretty in pink backside of that one, which we don't have. I think it's soft sea foam. Now this is another, these are specialty sheets, so these are only one-sided. So we've got this blue, so this is something that's not in the normal paper pack. So we've got this side here. This one's another one of single-sided. So it's very similar. We've got a pattern like this in the designer series paper, but it's got the gold foil accents. The scallops are gold foil. This one has no scallops. So the reason I think that they took the gold out is to tone it down a little bit for scrapbooking, because sometimes those gold can be a little bit distracting, I think, when it comes to your scrapbooking. So we've got 4 sheets of, and this is the, I think it's called White Lily or something like that. 12 by 12. So this is the white that they brought over from Close to My Heart. So I really want to put it up against our white to see if there's any difference, because I think white is white. But anyway, apparently they wanted, it was to replace White Willow, I think it was. So then we've got some of our double-sided cardstock. So this is exciting because this double-sided cardstock, and it's 2 tones. So you can see there you've got the lighter tone and the darker tone. So this one here is Pretty and Peach, Peach Pie. And the next one is Pretty and Pink, and that's the one that we're going to be using for Mum's layout. So, and you can see it's got a lighter side and a darker side. And then you get a sheet of, these are die cuts. So it's got a die cut spiral, die cut leaves there as well. You may not be able to see those, but they are leaves that are die cuts. Okay, so you can pop the leaves out. And these gorgeous spirals. And then you get a sheet of these, which are die cuts again, so you can pop all those out to decorate. And then we have a sticker sheet, and the sticker sheet has flowers, it has sentiments, it has beautiful strips that you can use as decorative strips, and some cute little tags up here. So so that's actually what you actually get, and that's just the backing sheet. And you also get your photo placement mats as well. Okay, so I've popped some of these photo placement mats. So these all incorporate, thank you, Jeanette. These all incorporate the size photos that you're going to need for the whole 3 double page layouts. Okay, so they give you photo placement mats, and these are great because you can use them as a guide when you're actually like putting your layout together. Like say you've got 2 of those and you've got 1 of those, and maybe you've got, I don't know, a portrait one down here. You can lay them onto your layout, and you can actually get a bit of an idea so that your placement. So if you don't have your photos printed up, I tend to like to have my photos printed up, ready to go. So I've looked at the layout that I want to do. I've got my photos printed up accordingly to the right sizes. So I am good to go and ready to go. All right. So the first thing what we're going to do is I'm going to pop all of that paper back over here, and I'm going to grab out the designer series paper that we need, and we will go from our instructions and we will do the cutting guides. Now, I wanted to give you a little bit of a trick on the cutting guide. So it's and I want everyone to realize that for all of my card makers out there that have followed me for many, many years, and you're traditionally card makers and you've decided to get into scrapbooking, don't be too alarmed if you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the kits of how to do things, because we're all learning as we go along. So I will make mistakes, and that's fine because I'm out of my comfort zone as well, because I'm not used to these kits. So for the people that were used to the Close to My Heart kits, you'll be fine. You'll be able to go ahead and get into it and know exactly what you're doing. For the people like me who are traditionally card makers, you will feel out of your comfort zone for the first couple of times. But once you get the hang of it and you realize how these instructions work, you'll be so much better off. Now, I also want to give you a bit of a guide that it would be really nice for you to have, say, 3 of the manila folders. You know how you can have folders to put paperwork in, but instead, I actually don't have any folders at the moment. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to show you a little trick of how to keep your pieces all together and know exactly what you've got to do. And we are just going to use 3 pieces of A4 copy paper, and that is going to help us with where we're going to store all of our bits and pieces. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to fold these in half, and I'm going to label these Project 1, Project 2, and Project 3. Now, I got this tip off another Close to My Heart maker that has come over to Stampin' Up. She actually said that this is what she does when she does her classes for scrapbooking. to help her ladies know what pieces go where. So what we're actually going to do is we are going to label those now. Let me grab a marker that's going to be dark enough that we can see. Let's try our, I'm trying to find a marker that is one of the new markers. There we go. Okay, so let's mark, we've got project 1. So let's say number 1, number 2, and number 3. Now that's going to help us when it comes to putting our bits and pieces into the right envelopes. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to sit my photo mats over to the side because I don't actually need those. So let's sit the 1, 2, and 3 over to the side here. Now let's open up our instructions and let's have a look. Now the other thing is too, each kit actually shows you a technique. So, so with these scrapbooking workshop kits, you're actually learning a technique as well. So it's the technique, the featured technique in this scrapbooking kit is creating flagged ends on paper pieces. So you'll see here in these layouts, you'll see that they've got some great, cute flagged ends. So we've got flagged ends there, we've got flagged ends over here, and we've got some flagged ends up here as well, so on this one as well. All right, so that's actually what the technique is that we will be learning in this. So let's go to page number 1 and let's see what we've got. So it's got, we need to have this paper. The orientation has to be that the cakes are going straight up and down. So on this, it actually shows you 1L, 1C, 1G, and it actually shows you this asterisk mark. Can you see that there's an asterisk mark there? That's actually showing you the back of the paper, okay? So also too, it is nice to be able to either label with some sticky notes or to, and I'm wondering whether I've got some sticky notes here in my desk drawer. Normally I do, but here's some sticky notes. Okay. So I'm going to be labeling with some sticky notes as well. So a couple of things that you need is a pen to be able to label with sticky notes, and then these 3 little file folder things here. Okay. All right. So it's showing us the cutting direction. So let's grab this piece of paper. I'm just going to pop all that aside because we only need that one piece of paper. We're going to get out our paper trimmer, and it's telling us the first cut is here. Okay, so see this little pair of scissors? It tells us that's the first cut that we're going to make. Okay, now there's a reason for that. If we cut up here, then we'd be cutting into that piece that we don't want to cut into. Okay, so it always tells you what the first cut is, and the asterisk, as I said, tells you the back side of the paper. So the first cut we have to cut at 7 inches by 10.5. So we're going to come over here 7 inches. We're going to go down 10.5 inches down that way. So let's do the 7 inches first. So we're going to pull out the arm on our paper trimmer. We're going to cut 7 inches. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut that at 10.5 inches this way. Okay, so we've got 7 by 10.5, and that is for project number 1. Now let's keep this piece of paper because we need to use that. Okay, so that's project number 1. Yes, 1L. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to write on this piece of paper 1L, and I'm going to put it on 1L. We're going to put it on there. And we're going to stick that into our number 1 folder. Okay, so 1L in there. Okay, now the next piece that we can cut is we need 3 inches by 10.5 as well. So let's do this one at 10.5 because, okay, let's do that one at 10.5. And let's do, we've got a spare bit there, 3 inches. So this one here is going to be our 1C. Okay, so that's scrap as well. So we've got 1C. So we're going to mark that one 1C. We're going to add that sticky note to there. And then we are going to put that into our number 1 folder again. Okay. Now, you could also have a folder that says scraps, because the scraps folder will be an awesome thing to do. So this is the piece that's down here. Okay, so this piece down here, we're going to do it at 5 1/4. So let's go to 5 1/4. And it's going to be the reverse side that we're going to need this. So I'm going to label it on the reverse side. So 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. So let's do 1 1/4. Let's go over this way. 1 1/4 there. Okay, so we want the reverse side of that. This is a scrap piece once again. We want the reverse side of that, and that is going to be 1G. So let's do 1G, and let's pop that into the folder. And I'm just going to put an asterisk there so that I know that it's the reverse side. Okay, so 1G reverse side. And we're going to put that into our number 1 folder as well. All right, so now we need another piece of that. So these are our scraps. So let's pop our scraps over to the side, and let's do the next sheet of paper. So once again, it's telling us this time that we want the front to be the stripy, and we want the orientation to be this way. Okay, so our first cut is going to be 10 inches. So that's the first cut that we're going to do, 10 inches. So our first cut is going to be, as we can see on this paper here, we've got our first cut here. So we've got 10 inches by 1 1/4. So we're going to cut that one at 10 inches. Okay. We're going to rotate it, and we're going to cut it at 1 1/4. And that's going to be that first cut piece. Okay, so let's pop it back the orientation that we're supposed to have it. So that one there is 1P. So let's mark that one 1P. 1P. Okay. So we have that one. You could mark these with pencil on the back side, but it just depends. And I'm going to put that into our number 1 folder again. All right. Now we've got 3B and 3F is going to be 9 1/4. So I'm actually, this is our scrap piece again. So I'm going to leave that as my scrap. I'm actually going to cut the 9 3/4 this way so that I don't waste anything off the bottom there. So I'm just going to cut that at 9 3/4 like that. That's our waste bit. And we are going to cut it at 5 inches and 5 inches. So let's do 5 and, oh, did I do that wrong? I think I did. I think I should have had that the other way. But anyway, I don't think I rotated it again. Did I or didn't I? Oh, no, it's that way. Okay, 3B. I second guessed myself then. Okay, so that one is 3B and 3F. 3B and 3F. Okay, Lorraine's saying, this is very interesting as I'm a scrapbooker, but I've never used one of our kits. Okay, all I have to check it out later on the replay. Oh, no worries, Lorraine. Yeah. Okay, so that way and that way. Okay, now, as you can see, we've got 1L, 1C, 1G, 1P, but now we've got 3B and 3F. So this 3B and 3F needs to go into our number 3 folder. Okay, so we're going to open that up. We're going to put those two into our number 3 folder. Okay, this is where these folders are going to come in really, really handy. Okay, so we've got that, and I've just got my scraps over to the left. So I'm not going to worry about the scraps. I'm just going to keep putting them over to the left or I could even put them in my bag. I might actually just put them in the bag of the scrapbooking kit, and that way then we can come back to any of the scraps that we have. Okay. All right, so let's pop them in there. All right, let's turn it over to the next page. So now we're going to have the front, which is the pink spirally. So that's going to be the front. So cut orientation is front that way with these spirals going up. Correct. Okay, front that way with our spirals going up. So our first cut for this one is going to be the 5 inches. So we've got 5 inches. Okay, so let's do 5 inches here. So we've got first cut, and my blade decided to fall out of my trimmer. Okay, so the first cut is going to be 5 inches by 11.5. So let's do 5 inches. And we've got another one at 5 inches. So we'll cut the second one at 5 inches. Okay, and we've also got a 1 1/4 inch. So let's do 1 1/4 inch. 1 1/4 inch. Okay, now it's telling us that the front side, that's a scrap. The front side is the pink, but it's telling us that 2B and 2H is the reverse side. So we're going to use them on the reverse side. They're both cut at 11.5. So let's cut them both at 11.5. You can save time by cutting the two together. So let's cut them both at 11.5, like so. We've got some scrap pieces left over there, so we'll pop those into our scraps. Okay, now it's telling us that we need to have it this side. So it told us that we had to have it that way, but we need to have it this side, and that one's going to be 2B and 2H. 2B there, and 2H. So now that's going to go into our number 2 folder. So let's grab our number 2 folder. Those two pieces, 2B and 2H, are going to be in there. Whoops. Okay, 2B, 2H. It is certainly definitely Merlin. Merlin's saying it's certainly definitely an easy way to scrapbook. It is. Okay, so we've got that one. This one here is going to be, it just says 10. Now I'm not quite sure how, or no, it might be 1/0. Maybe it's 1/0. So let's think about it, that it's going to maybe be 1/0. So let's do 10 1/4. It could be 1/0. So I'm just going to put 1/0, and I'm going to put it in the number ones. When we think that we're missing it, we might have to look in the number ones. But I think it's 1/0. All right, so we're going to put that one there in our number 1 folder. Which number 1 folder is there? Let's pop that there. Okay, so that's it for cutting for that one. The next one, we're going to grab another piece of that. It's telling us once again the front is going to be that way, and we've got the little swirly pieces going up. Those are our scraps. So we've got the swirly pieces going up. It says that the front is going to be this way. First cut is this one here, which is going to be 3 3/4 by 12. So let's do 3 3/4 by 12. We're doing another 3 3/4 by 12. Correct. Double check that. Yes. And they're going to be the right way up. So we're going to do those ones 2A and 2G. That's going to go in our number 2 file. So 2A for that one, and 2G for that one. And then, of course, we've got a little 1F. So that one, 2A and 2G, and that will go in our number 2 file. And then we've got 1 1/4. So let's go over here. 1 1/4. We're only going to go down 5. So I'm actually just going to go down 5 like that. Then I'm going to flip it over and grab my 5 there and go like that. And that way I'm not wasting any paper. Okay, and we've got to do it that way. Okay, so that one there is 1F. There. And that's a scrap piece of paper. So we've got 1F. 1F. And that's going to go in our number 1 folder. Okay, so let's grab number 1. We'll pop 1F into there. Okay, so we've got that. Now we've got to take the blue. I'm going to pop these all in my scraps once again. So I'm just popping them back into the bag. So we've got our scraps in there. Now we're going to take the blue paper. The blue is going to be, this is going to be the front. Okay, the first cut is going to be 2 inches by 11 3/4. So we'll do 2 inches there. 2 inches by 11 3/4. There. Now, the beauty of this is that I'm going to keep that one there. So that one's going to be 2D. And it says we want the back side of it for 2D. So let's go. That one is 2D. We'll put that one in folder number 2. Okay. This one here has to be 9 1/4 by 9. So we're going to go over 9 1/4. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go down to 9. I'm then going to turn it over. And we're going to go to 9 here. And we're going to cut. And that way, we're leaving this whole piece here. Okay, so that one there is 9 1/4 by 9, and that is 1K. Let's pop that piece over there as scrap. So we've got 1K. 1K. And it's the right side up, so that's this side here, the blue side. So just remember those little asterisk marks, and that's going to go into our number 1 folder. So let's open number 1, and we'll pop that one in there. Okay. Now we're going to take another piece of that. So this piece here is going to go into our scraps. I want to show you what we've got left over out of all these pieces of paper when we're finished doing our cutting, so you can see how much you're going to be able to use again. It's saying front side once again is going to be the blue, and we're going to do our first cut here, which is 2 inches by 11 3/4. So let's do 2 inches. And we need to rotate that for 11 3/4. Which is there. It's another little scrap piece that I'm going to keep. Okay, so that one there is 2J, and it wants it to be on the back side, the reverse side. So that one's going to be 2J. Okay. We're going to take this one again, and we're going to do 5 inches by 11. So we're going to go 5 inches. By 11. Let's go 11. And go down to the 5-inch mark. Okay. So we've got that one there at 5 inches by 11. And that one is 3A. 3A. Yeah, so the asterisk means the reverse side, Sue. Okay, so we've got 3A, and then we've got leftover. They want to do a 4 3/4, which is there, by 9. So let's do 4 3/4. Oh, that's a fine little snippet. I'm going to there. Let's turn it over and let's do 9. I can't do that. We'll do that. We'll go here to 9. And we'll go up to that little bit. Let's pop it all in there. And go to 9. There we go. And that's our scrap piece that we've got left over. That piece is going to be the front side. So it's going to be 4 3/4, and that's going to be 1B. 1B. Okay. So we have those pieces all cut. And that piece is a scrap. Let's put those into the corresponding envelopes now. So we have number 1 for that one. We have number 3 for this one. Number 3. And we have number 2 for this one. Okay, those ones there. Now we're moving over to the last page, which is peach pie that we're going to be cutting. All right, so let's grab out our peach pie. So we're going to take that. It's saying that the right side is going to be the light. Our first cut is going to be this one, which is 3/4 of an inch. So I like to do 3/4 of an inch over this way. So let's do 3/4 of an inch there. It's 3/4 by 12. And that one is 2C. Okay. So that one there is 2C. So let's pop that into our 2 folder. Okay. And it just flipped over. Let's flip it over the right way. Now, we've got 3/4 of an inch by 12 again. So let's do that again. And that is going to be 2, I think it's 2I. I'm assuming 2I. I think that's what it's called. So we'll do that one. And it's still the right side. So the right side is the light side. Pop that one in there, and it goes into number 2 as well. Okay, 1M is 1 1/4 by 10. So let's do, we can still do that over this side here. So we can do 1 1/4. I'm going to cut it all the way through by 10. We'll keep that scrap. And it's telling us that way is still the light way up. And it's telling us it is 1O again, maybe. It's just saying 10. Well, it's, no, sorry, 1M. 1M. Okay, and that's the right side up. So let's pop that into number 1 envelope. Now you can see here why if you had the manila folders, it would make it a lot easier to be popping all these bits and pieces in rather than a bit of paper. All right, so we've done 1M. Now we need to do 1N, and it's saying it's got to be the reverse side, but we're going to do 1 1/4 again. So 1 1/4 by 9 3/4. 9 3/4. And this one is going to be the reverse side. So we've got to flip that one over because it's got an asterisk beside it. And it is going to be 1N. 1N. So we'll add that one. So we flipped it over to the reverse side. So it's going to be the darker side. And we're going to pop that one into envelope number 1. Okay. 3D and 3H is going to be by 8, and it's going to be the right way up, which is the light side, which that's the light side. Correct. Okay, so they're both by 8. So I'm going to turn it by 8 this way. So I've got this big piece here, so I'm not cutting that. So let's do that. That's going to be our scrap, and then we're going to turn it this way, and it's going to be 4 by 8 and 4 by 8. And that one should be exactly 4 by 8. And that is. Okay, so we've got 4 by 8, 4 by 8. We've got 3D and 3H. 3D and 3H. The crafty cat has made it into the craft room, and he's doing the big smooch on my legs because he's obviously hungry. He thinks it's dinner time. 3D and 3H, so they go into folder number 3, which is here. Let's pop those in there. Okay. Now, we've got 3D, 3H. We need another piece of our peach pie. So let's grab that. Another piece of our peach pie. And we are going to do peach pie. We're going to do the first cut is going to be 4.5 inches by 8 3/4. 4.5 by 8 3/4. I'm going to go down to 8 3/4 there because we're going to do 2 of them at 4.5. So 4.5 and 4.5 is 9. Correct? So we're going to do another 4.5. And that's going to go down to 8 3/4. Okay. I'm going to flip that over now and go to 8 3/4 and cut that. That way we're not cutting into that cardstock again. There. So we've got that and that. All right. Let's go back. Now it said the dark side, so it's going to be 3C and 3G. 3C and 3G. Like that. Okay, so they're going to go into my number 3 folder. So number 3 is right at the bottom. Number 3 folder. Those ones. And then these ones here, we've got it 5.5 and 5. So I'm actually going to go 5.5 this way. There. This is my leftover piece. And I'm going to go 1D is 1 1/4. So let's do 1 1/4. And it says the reverse side because it's got an asterisk. So let's flip it over. Let's go 1D. 1D. And then this one is 1E, and it's by, so that one's by 5 1/4. Sorry, it was 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. I did that wrong. Should have been 5 1/4. Okay, so that's 1D. And then this one here is 1 1/4 by 5. So let's do 1 1/4. Whoa, by 5. And it's the right side up, which is the dark. So we've got a light one here, and we've got a dark one there. And that one is 1E. Now, that's all the cutting that I'm actually going to do because the rest of the cutting guide is actually just your photo mats. And I'm not going to cut my photo mats just yet. I like to cut my photo mats. So I'm going to put all of those scraps into my scrap container. Okay, so we have these all left over so far. There's also the other pages that we've got here. So we've got, and obviously we're going to use these as our base pages. So we've got these two and these two. Okay, so we've got all of that left. We've got the white willow left because I'm not cutting my card bases just at the moment. So I'm going to pop those all away as well. Now I'm going to need the pink for my layout because I'm going to do layout number 2. So if you do any of these and you only want to do one layout, the easiest way is to cut all of your cardstock first and all your designer series paper. So you have them all in the folders and then they'll be good to go. So if you want, you could actually have a folder that you could put project number 2 and put project number 2 sheet in that folder. So you've got all the bits and pieces ready to go. Okay. So I'm actually going to do project number 2 is what I'm going to do. So my project number 1 and my project number 3, I'm going to keep those in their folders ready to go. They're all labeled, ready to go, but I can actually slip them in and I could possibly put what is going to be the base for those as well. So let's put the trimmer away. So if we look at, that's 1A and 1J. So 1A and 1J is white willow cardstock. I'm not doing number 1. I'm doing number, okay, so white willow. So number 1 has white willow as the cardstock. So we could grab our white willow, 2 sheets of that. We could pop it in a 12 by 12 envelope and you have number 1 ready to go. I'm just going to pop that off to the side. Now we're going to do number 2. So number 2 layout, and you can see here number 3. Oh, sorry, layer number 1. So no, number 1 needs those 2, these ones as well. Let me look. That one. And that one is for layout number 1. Okay, so layout number 1, I can put all of that into a 12 by 12 packet and I've got layout number 1 ready to go. Now layout number 2, we are going to, and that's the one I'm actually going to do with Mum. Layout number 2, it tells us here that we need the pink as our mat. So layout number 2 is going to be this and this. Okay. Pretty in pink card base. Yep. Okay. That is what we need for layout number 2. So that's actually what we're going to be doing is layout number 2. And then layout number 3, we need those gorgeous blue papers again. So we could pop the 2 blue papers, okay, into a folder with our layout number 3 folder. Okay, so I'm just going to pop those aside and we're going to get into layout number 2. So you've got all of this left over. So there's quite a bit left over. You've got your 2 pretty in pink. You've got all of your die cuts. You've got your back base page as well, all your die cuts and your sticker sheets, okay, and all of that left over out of the kit. So you could easily make some more pages with those as well. All right, let's get into layout number 2. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to layout number 2 and we're going to follow the instructions. You know me, following instructions. Okay, so assemble. It says adhere 2A to the pretty in pink card base. Okay, so we've got that and we've got that. Now, let me see. So, pretty in pink, and we've got the pink side, the bright side up. Do I want to do it with the bright side up, or do I want to do it with the pale side up? What are your thoughts? Do you think I should do it the bright side up or the pale side up? Because what we're actually going to do is we are going to take, I'm going by looking now, we're going to take these and pop these on here. So that's going to go along there and there. Tell me what you think. Does the pale look better or the bright? So the darker color or the light? Put it into the comments and let me know what your thoughts are. It actually has it the dark color in the layout. It shows the dark color, but do you think I should put the dark side up or the light side up? Type it into the comments. All right. This is pretty. Pale for 2 pages, says Sue. Sue thinks the pale side up. I'm liking the pale side too, actually. I just feel like it's going to make the paper stand out more. Deborah's saying the pale side up. Okay, so that's 2 people for the pale side. Let's start getting our bits and pieces. So now we can take our number 2 folder, and we've got all of our bits and pieces in our number 2 folder here. Dimity's saying pale side up. Okay, I'm thinking pale side's going to win it, so let's do that. All right. So adhere 2G to the pink base, 2G to the pretty and pink base, 2G, which is this one here, to the pretty and pink base. Okay, I'm just going to do a dry run first. So let's 2G here, 2G here, 2A over here. Okay. And then it says adhere to H, then to I, lining up the left edges with 2H and 2I. So we've got 2H and we've got 2I, which is this one. Lining up the left. So 2H lining up over the left there. And 2I is going to go all the way across, correct? Okay, I'm thinking it's gonna, I don't know whether we're going to go over the top or whether we're going to line them up like that. I'm not quite sure, but no, we can't do that because it has to be down. So 2H goes over here. 2H goes over here, overlapping that a little bit. Then we've got 2I coming through here, which is probably going to there, correct? And then we're going to get adhere to J. 2J is this one here. Okay, so 2J is going to go across there like that. And this little piece. Now, can you see here? Can you see what's happening here? We're covering up that whole entire strip of the peach pie. We're covering up the whole entire strip of that. So we're going to flag the end here, but we're covering up the whole entire strip of that. So my thought process would be that once we flag the end here, that I'm going to probably cut just a small snippet off that and save the rest. And I actually think I've probably got some left over in my scraps that would probably do it as well. So just remember when you've got things like that happening that you could possibly, you could possibly not use that whole entire strip. All right. So embellish with remaining die cuts and stickers. Adhere prepared 2K and 2L placing. 2K and 2L. That's our photos, placing 2L slightly over to 2K. Okay, that's one page sorted there. Just we need to embellish. The next page here is same thing. So we're going to do that. We're going to grab this piece here, which is going to go over there like that, but over to the left. We're then going to pop another piece of this. So I'm thinking I could physically not use all of that. Okay. Physically not use all of that because our right page, you're actually, yeah, like, oh, sorry, they're all going to line up. Right page and left page. So left page. Okay. Left page lines up over this way. Get it right, Donna, get it right. Left page is going to line up over that way. Right page is going to line up over this way. So that they're all going to line up in the middle. We've got that happening there. And then we've got that over the top. So would your thought process be that you would cut a little bit of this off because we physically don't need it all underneath there? All right, I'm going to flag the end of this 2D and 2J. So I'm just going to grab my scissors. Now, how I would typically flag the end would be I would measure the middle of that designer series paper and it's 2 inches. So I would measure 1 inch and I would make a snip mark. Okay, so 1 inch is my snip mark. I'm then going to cut in at 1 inch, probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to flag it like that and flag it like that. So all you do is you cut straight into your flagged piece and then you just physically cut into that cut mark that you've got there. So we've got one flagged piece there. Let's get rid of my pieces. One flag. We're going to flag the end of this one. So once again, I'm going to find my 1 inch mark, which is right there. We're going to cut in about 3/4 of an inch and flag it. Okay, if you want to be quite particular with cutting your flagged pieces, if you want to measure it and you want to rule it with a bit of paper first and then cut along your pencil mark, draw a pencil mark, then by all means, quite easily do that. All right, now it doesn't have the other pieces flagged. It's only got that end flagged and that's it. So as you can see, the end that's sticking out from here is not a huge piece. So I'm actually going to save this piece here. I'm going to save that piece and I'm only going to cut one of them. I'm going to cut one of them and I think I'm going to cut, let's save that and pop that back into my kit. I'm going to cut probably at about, I'm going to do it 3 inches just to be on the safe side. So I'm just going to randomly cut 3 inches there. I'm going to randomly cut 3 inches off there. I'm going to use the straight edges that I haven't cut to go in on here. So the straight edges I haven't cut on there. Straight edge that I didn't cut on this one can go up there. And that one's going to go over the top. Okay. So it's going to look a little bit like that. So this one here, oh, that's going to go over that way, and that one's going to pop in there. We also probably don't need our pieces to be as big. Oh, no, we do. I was going to say we probably don't possibly need our pieces to be as big under here. But we do because they come down over this way. So we are going to need it to be like that. So, and that's going to sit up there. Okay, so there we have that layout and that layout. Now, I've still got all this left over that I'll pop back into my kit because we don't need to use all that. Now, I've got my photos all sorted for this layout. So we've got on one page, the left page, we've got, what did I work it out? Left page, let me see at the front. Left page is project 2. Oh, it doesn't tell me which. 2 3x3s, 2 3x4s, landscape, and a 4x4. Okay, so 3x4 landscape is going to be there. So that's going to go there and there. And we have a 3x3. So I decided to do like my mother there. And then I have a 4x4 over this side. And we have a little 3x4. Actually, it's probably, yeah, 3x4 that way there. Okay. Now you can see here straight away, once you pop the photos on, it makes a huge difference to start to get the look. It's all about economy. Exactly, Sheila. Yep. You'd flag both of them together, Sue. Yeah, we could. So Sue's saying that she could have flagged both of them together. They're sitting opposite each other, so they're not probably going to be close enough that you would be able to scrutinize whether you got them exactly right, but you could physically do them together. Yeah. All right. So let's start gluing this together, I think. So I feel like it's showing down the bottom here. Now, does it tell us actually any measurements on this? I don't know whether it does or it doesn't. I don't feel like there's any measurements here. Ooh, okay, there is a measurement here. See here it says 4.5. See down here it says here 4.5. So it's 4.5 to the top of that pink piece. So let's move that. 4.5 to the top of the pink piece. Okay, so that tells us 4.5 to the top of the pink piece. That tells us that the pink piece has to go there. Okay, so if you look on here, 4.5 inches up, it tells you that the top of this pink piece has got to be, sorry, 4.25. Top of this pink piece has got to be at 4.25. 4.25. Okay, so that's there. 4.25 is there. Okay, so we will glue that one down. So 4.25. So I like to be able to have my glass mat as my guide, and I like to put it down around about where I think it's going to be. And then because I'm using my liquid glue, I'm going to be able to wiggle it to where it's got to be, line it up with my straight edge, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that one down. Got that one glued down. And I just add a little bit more glue there. Okay, so we've got that one glued down nicely into place where it needs to be. Okay, so then of course we are going to line up the other piece. My cat is playing with a sponge dauber that has dropped down onto the ground. So now what I like to do is I like to line both of my pages up to get them nice and even. I like to line them up like this, and then I'm just going to line that up and get it nice and even with that other page. Okay, because if you are slightly off, that you're not quite at 4.25, then you want your page to flow. You want your page to look like it's matching. I tend to eyeball things quite a bit, but you definitely want your page to match. So make sure that you just line the two pages up together, butt them up together, and then it's easy to line that second layer over on the second page to make it meet with the other one. Okay. So now what I do is I butt them right up together nice and straight. And then I go, okay, that one butts in just there. We'll line it up with the edge of the cardstock. I've got the wiggle room to be able to wiggle it and then press it down. Okay, so we have that and that. And how awesome is that looking? Beautiful. Okay, so we've got that. Now it tells us that this one here lines up, the bottom of it lines up to 3.5. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to line this side over here because I've got this side here that I can line up to 3.5. So let's do that one. And then I'll line up the other side once again. So we're going to pop this one on. And it says 3.5 to the bottom of this layer. Okay. So let's line our cardstock up here. And 3.5 to the bottom of this piece will be there. Okay, right there. There we have it. That one's going to go on there like that. Okay, so we can take those off. So now with this side, I'll just butt my pages up together and I can layer that one up. So, I mean, my thought process is with these kits, if you are a card maker and you haven't scrapbooked, but you want to get into scrapbooking, then by all means, these kits are definitely the way to go because they make it also easy. We get all the cutting guides, we get all the instructions ready to go, and they take all the guesswork out of it. So now I'm just going to line that up nice and straight with that one. I'm eyeballing it there with them together, and then I can press that one down. Okay. All right. Now, it says that 2I is going to sit right on top of that, that 4.25. So it's definitely 4.25. So it's actually going to sit right on top of that. Now, they haven't flagged that, so that's actually going to sit in there. So let's use this one piece. And I can't remember whether it was supposed to be the right way up or the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. We are just going to use it the way it is. Okay. Just as long as we've got them both matching. So that one there is going to go there. This one here, we'll just make sure we've got the same color, and we do. So let's go to the top over here. Okay, like so. All right, now it says to the bottom of the green check piece, so the soft seafoam check piece, is going to be, and I can probably measure it on this one, so let's do this one first. It's going to be 3 3/4. So let's go to 3 3/4, which is there. But that's 3 3/4. 3 3/4 is there. That's not showing as much as what that says. Three and a half. It's saying 3 3/4. That is more than half an inch in there. More than half an inch. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it. I'm going to go to 4 inches because it's going to look a lot better, I think, if I go to 4 inches. So I'm just going to pop it in at 4 inches. It's saying 3 3/4, but I think it definitely needs to be at 4 inches. You all know me. I'm going rogue as usual. So let's go in there at 4 inches. And that looks so much like where it's supposed to be. It actually looked like it's supposed to be up there a bit more. So let's go to 4 1/4. I'm going to go to 4 1/4. I'm going to push it up to 4 1/4. I think that's where it needs to be. Okay, so we pushed it up to 4 1/4. Now I'm just going to line this one up the same way. Hey, Colleen, welcome. So now, once again, butt them up together. And we will go in to there. Okay. And that's that one done. So you can see there, that's got your base pages, your base already done. And now it's just a case of embellishing and making those photos pop. So I'm just going to grab some basic white cardstock to go in behind these. Actually, I feel like I would like to do pretty in pink in behind them. What are your thoughts? Tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think I should do pretty in pink in behind? I'm feeling like because I can. They've got white in behind. Well, let's try it. Let's see. Oh, do I have any pretty in pink in here? Yes, I do. Okay. So let's just try this and we'll make a vote on here. So this is pretty in pink in behind my photos. Pretty in pink. Or do we want to do basic white? So tell me what your thoughts are. Pretty in pink or basic white in behind the photos. What do you think? Pretty in pink dark. Well, I'm actually going to have to use dark because I've only got pretty in pink normal cardstock to use. So pretty in pink. Hey, Sharon. Whereabouts are you on holiday, Sharon? Lucky you. Pretty in pink in behind or basic white? I feel like I want to do the pretty in pink. I could do pretty in pink light because I could race out to my craft studio. Let's try the dark and see what you think. The dark might be quite okay to do it. Okay. What about peach pie? Okay, Sharon's come up with the idea of peach pie. Do I have any peach pie out? Oh, I can't do peach pie, Sharon, because, oh, there's peach pie. I can. I've got a little bit, but I could do peach pie in behind. What are your thought processes on peach pie? Sharon's decided peach pie might look nice. Okay, so we have peach pie, we have pretty in pink, or we have basic white. Needs to be dark, says Merlene. I don't think the white's doing it. The white's definitely not. Yeah, white washes out the photos. I agree, Sue. I think so too. Okay, so our thought process, we've eliminated white. White's not going to happen. Are we going to do pretty in pink in behind, or are we going to do peach pie in behind? Pretty in pink or peach pie? Mix it up, says Deborah. Pretty in pink or peach pie? What do you think? Okay, Maureen saying pink, Dimity saying pink, Sue saying pink, Sheila saying pink. I'm thinking pink's going to win it. A nice idea though, Sharon. I think the peach pie looks good too. What about pale blue? Well, that's incorporating another color in there. We could physically, you might be thinking of pool party. Is that what you're thinking of? Pool party? Pool party? Pink, 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 says Maureen. Deborah says pink. Colleen says pink. I'm thinking pink's going to win. And I like pink for the layout. And a lot of the embellishments are pink as well. So how about we go with pretty and pink? Just because we can. All right. Boho blue, says Sue. You know what? Pretty and pink's going to be it. Otherwise, we're going to be here all afternoon. All right. So what I normally do is my photos, some of them are cut to the right size. Some aren't. So what I normally do is I measure my photos first. Now that photo is definitely, it's a smidge over 4 inches. So it's 4 1/8. So I'm going to do that 4 3/8. Hang on. Let's make it easy. Let's trim it down to 4. So it's exactly 4. Okay, so we're going to trim that down to 4. And now I've got a piece of photo paper stuck in my trimmer there. Okay, so we've got it down to 4 and it's less than 3. Okay, let's see this one. 4. Let's trim him down to 4. So we've got it definitely 4. And okay, that's 4 and I feel like I want to do that 4 2.5. Let's do it 4 2.5. 4 2.5. So this is my mum's twin sister. So she's got, let's see if we can cut this one down to 2.5. We will cut some of that table off. Definitely some of that table off. Or we can cut there. That looks good. Let's cut the table off. Okay. So they're both 4 by 2.5 now. So we've got, are they both 4 by 2.5? I thought I did that one at 4. Okay. 4 by 2.5. So let's do 4 1/4. No, I'm going to do, 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. 2 3/4. That one there, beautiful. That one, 2 3/4 for that one. Okay, there, beautiful. Okay, this little one here, we can, it was supposed to be 3 by 3, but it's definitely not. We'll do that at 2 1/4. Let me see, 2 1/4. Trim that little bit off. 2 1/4 by 3. Okay, 2 1/4 by 3. So let's do 2.5 by 3 1/4. 3 1/4 for that one. Beautiful. Okay, now we've got the photo of the other side. This one here is, now you may be wondering why in the world are my photos these strange sizes, and it's because I use a, okay, let's do 2 3/4. We'll cut a little bit off the top. Yeah. Okay, so that one there is 4 by 2 3/4. So let's do 3 by 4. Theo's decided to chew into my scrapbooking kit. We can have none of that, thank you. Okay, 4 by 3. So 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So let's do, did I say 2 3/4? No, that's 3 by 4 1/4. 3 by 4 1/4. That's that one. There. And then this one is, it should be 4 by 4. 4. It's less than 4. It is 3 7/8. So let's do it 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, so then we can do it 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And that will work. 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And there we have our photo mats. Beautiful. Okay. Let's remove all that. We will. The pinks have it. Yeah, the pinks definitely got it, didn't they? Everyone voted on the pink. And, I mean, there's pink in Mum's dress. Look at her gorgeous dress. Didn't she look beautiful on her 80th birthday? Look how stunning my mum is. Okay, so we've got that one. Mind you, my dad's face in this photo, when my father drinks beer, he goes so red, he looks like he's sunburned. And I can tell you, his face looks like nearly the color of the icing on the cake. Look at his face in that one. Poor old dad. Okay, that one and that one. These ones. So I remember I had friends of ours, and when we used to go down to the beach at Christmas time, my aunties used to go down there as well. And they used to say that my mum and her sisters look like little paper cutout dolls. They all look the same. And then they said the same thing about mum and my sister and myself, that we look like paper cutout dolls, identical. But look at my mum and her two sisters. Do they look like their sisters? They definitely do, don't they? These two are twins, and they're not identical twins. Yeah, well, I mean, people think they're identical. I can tell the difference. When you know them, you can definitely tell the difference. I can even tell the difference even when they're back on, just by the way they stand and the way they hold themselves. Like they're chalk and cheese, the two of them. But yeah, they are really a lot of people get them confused. A lot of people don't know which one's which. And unfortunately, these two sisters lost their husbands just over a year ago. One of them lost their husband, and the other one lost her husband a month later. So they always say that twins do everything together. And that's what Mum could not believe, that they lost their husbands like nearly a month apart. So okay. Sorry, I just have to tell my sister I'm on a live video. All right. So we have that, and that. So these pages are looking gorgeous. So now let's grab our instruction sheet and let's see what they've decorated them with. They've got celebrate. They've got balloons. Oh no, there's okay. So there's the little squiggly bit. So this bit here, these die cut pieces. Oh, and I just tore that one. Just be careful getting those die cuts out. I just tore that one. They're in there a little bit hard, so make sure you just keep pulling gently at them to get them out. When the twins were younger, I couldn't tell them apart. Yeah, Del. So Delma's actually my mum's cousin. And she was saying that she couldn't tell them apart when they were younger. I mean, I suppose I've grown up with them, so I can always tell them apart. I do have, like, my girls, my daughters, like, they have a hard time. When they start talking to them, they can pick which one's which. But they said if they seen one or the other, they probably wouldn't know which one it is until they start talking to them. Like once they start talking, you can tell which one's which. But I can actually tell by their looks. I really can, yeah. But yeah, a lot of people couldn't tell them apart. Your hubby is a twin, Sharon, yeah. And is he an identical twin to his brother or just a twin? Like, I mean, Del, is Auntie Betty and Auntie Bernice, are they identical twins? I don't think they are they? I don't know. I've never asked Mum that, whether they're identical. Maybe they are. I don't know. Not real sure on that. I'll have to ask my mum that. All right, so we've got that one there. So as I said, just be careful when you're pulling them out. They are sort of in there fairly well. This video is probably going a lot longer than I thought it was going to go. But, you know, we've showed how to get those kits all out, how to cut all the paper. And I will probably just show you what this will look with a few embellishments around. And I probably will stick them all together and then share the photo of the finished layout. So they've got this coming through here like that underneath those photos. So we've got, and this photo goes over about there and there. So we've got that happening. They've got the balloons here. Okay, so balloons tucked in there. Like so. They've got the word celebrate. I'm not going to stick that on just at the moment. They've got celebrate. They've got a flower tucked up in under there. So let's grab a flower. Now, on the back of these flowers, it actually tells you which project they go for. Okay, so this one's saying project number 1. So project number 2 is what we're looking for. Project 2, which is this flower here. So let's pull out that one. What did I use there? Project 2, yeah. This one. Okay, what else have we got over here? Project 1, Project 1. That's all of Project 2 out of there. Okay. So they've got flower here, down here, which is that pink one. They've got that in under there. They've got these over the top. We might do that one there and that one there. We might do that one there. I'm thinking I'm going to go down here with these and that one there. And that one there. But how gorgeous is this layout looking? What do you think? So, I mean, that's as easy as it is. Like, honestly, it is. Auntie Josie always dressed in the same and their hair was exactly the same. Yeah, okay. But I still don't. I'm going to ask my mum that. I'm going to jump off and I'm going to ask my mum whether they're identical. Your two best friends' sons are married to identical twins. It's taken you years to tell them apart. Yeah. Um, yeah, okay. Well, there you go. I mean, that there, I just love this birthday scrapbooking kit. If you've got someone that's having a milestone birthday, I think this kit is absolutely perfect for documenting um, that gorgeous event. So, as I said, this is Mum's surprise present that she's going to get for her 81st birthday. So that we can add it to her album that I've already done. And I'm super excited to be using these scrapbooking kits because I just wanted to show you how easy they are to put together, how gorgeous the layouts can look. And no matter whether you're an avid crafter, whether you're a casual crafter, whether you're brand new to scrapbooking, I can tell you these kits are definitely the way to go. I also do a Scrap It With Me workshop kit absolutely every month. And what I do is I take a suite of products and I create 3 double page layouts and I give you cutting guides very similar to what these are. My cutting guides are a little bit more. I show in the picture what the designer series paper is because you see my layouts and I do all the cutting guides and things, but I actually design the layouts myself rather than having pre-designed layouts. But if you wanted to do a pre-designed layout, you want to get started with scrapbooking, these kits are definitely the way to go. If you're interested in my Scrap It With Me workshop kits, I actually do them as a kit by mail. I also do them as an in-person class. I hold them on the first Thursday of every month. We hold a scrapbooking class here, and it costs $80 to attend in person. It costs $95 to actually get the kit by mail, and the $15 is just to cover the postage for me to get your kits out. So how I do it, I hold the class at the beginning of the month, the first Thursday in the month, and then at the end of the month, for everyone that has ordered the online class, the online version, the kit by mail, I send them out towards around the 25th or so of the month. So this month's was the Marbled Elegance is what we used. Next month, we're going to be using the gorgeous, I keep forgetting, but the actual picture here on my screen is actually the designer series paper and the bundle that we'll be using. But if you're interested in doing that, then by all means, feel free to scan that QR code there or use the link that's in the description down below. And this kit, I've left a link in the bottom in the description for if you wanted to purchase this kit and get scrapbooking yourself. It gets sent directly from Stampin' Up, so you will be able to grab your kit, print your photos, and you will be good to go to make 3 double page layouts, and if not more, with the leftovers. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me, and I will be back tomorrow morning with a live video once again. Yes, Deborah, I know if I start them on the weekend, you will be there. As I said, Deborah, even when I'm doing my card buffets, I do them every second month. I'm more than happy for you to come and do a scrapbooking class when the card buffet is on as well. So, but I will start doing something. I just have to work out which weekends I'm free and how it will fit in so I can do it at a regular stage. Maybe I might do it the first Saturday of the month because I do it the first Thursday of the month. So maybe I could do that. We will see. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me. Hopefully you've enjoyed that scrapbook layout, and I hope it gives you a whole new outlook on those new kits, and maybe you might want to try one of our scrapbooking workshop kits. Thanks everyone. I will see you